Listen to that sound. Yeah. Like skipping rocks on a sea of glassy lake. That is someday, UJU. Hello, everyone. My name is W.A.K. William. High Arts on the Edge. We have a very special show to kick off February. And in spirit of February, in the spirit of dream pop, we have two artists from the band UJU, Ken and Judy. Ken is patched in all the way from the Philippines, Duma Gete, and Judy is in Korea, Busan, Korea. And I am in the Bay Area near San Francisco, but nobody cares where I am. We are here today to talk about this glorious new album, and we're going to have a listening party for The Sun Is in Our Eyes. And this is the second album by the band UJU. Ken, Judy, how are you doing?
Hello, thank you so much for having us. It's so nice to be here.
You are quite welcome. Ken, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to be here.
And well, thank you so much, both of you, for your time. Ken, what's the weather like in the Philippines? Is it as windy there as it is in the Bay Area right now?
It was cloudy like 5 minutes ago, but now the sun's out. So
Okay, so what are we looking at seasonal wise? Are we looking at a lot of rain? What's the pattern of weather there?
it's like rain in the morning and then really hot in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that about the Philippines. And are you close to Cebu or are you closer to Manila?
Closer to Cebu.
And what's the difference between Cebu and Manila? Just population?
And language, I guess. Yeah. Culture.
All right. Great. Judy, how are you?
I'm doing good as well. The weather in Busan is really good. Today it's a bit cloudy though. And yeah, I'm again glad to be here.
So last time we spoke offline, off camera, we were talking about you did live in the Philippines for a while. Is that correct?
Oh yes, I actually grew up in the Philippines.
Okay.
So yeah.
And now you're in Busan.
Yes.
So what made you leave the Philippines over to Busan, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I'm just staying in Busan for a few months because my family's here, and
Okay.
I'll be moving to Seoul this month. And the reason I transferred or moved back to Korea is because of school. So I'm entering college this year, and I thought it would be nice to, I guess, reconnect with my Korean roots and attend college or university here.
Okay, so the university experience here typically average 4 to 6 years for students to finish.
Yeah, I think
So
4
what's
years.
it like for the university in Korea?
Yeah, I think it would be 4 years as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here we have to declare a major, usually our freshman year, sophomore year. I was a communications major. Do you have to declare a major when you go into a college?
Oh, yes. I'm going to be taking up psychology.
Nice. You
Yeah.
like this? You like this, huh?
Yes, I do. It's quite interesting.
How did you get into to psychology? Was that something that parents had kind of passed down to you?
No, I think it's just I try to assess my interests and the observations around me or in my environment. And I thought that psychology would um, be an interesting thing to study too, that could actually help a lot of people as well. So that's the reason.
I'll be curious to see how psychology plays a role in your music. Maybe we could get into that later.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, sure.
Ken, what about you in schooling? What are you doing right now? Are you doing school? What do you do, a job? What's going on?
Yeah, I graduated like years ago. So yeah, I'm a designer.
A
But I
web designer.
graduated, yeah, I graduated as information technology though.
Here in America, IT people are always in demand, especially at schools. Is that the same where you're at?
Yeah, pretty much
Okay.
everywhere, I think.
All right. So here's the role of an IT player in the Bay Area. Overworked, overpaid.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
No, I'm just kidding. No, they get tons of work. They're always putting out fires. But we're not here to talk about IT work in the Bay Area. So before we actually listen to the album, if you're tuning in, let us know where you're patched in from. We'd love to hear from you. Uh, Judy and Ken will be taking questions either during the listening party of the album or afterwards. So go ahead, send us some questions. The Sun is in Our Eyes. Okay, so this came out last Friday. Am I correct?
Yes.
So tell us about the response you've been receiving from friends and family and me.
Um, it's been good. A lot of people like the songs, and a lot of I've seen who aren't really into dream pop kind of got into it and listened to our song. So that's great. Reaching more people, and overall, I think it's been relatively better received than our first album.
Okay. Judy, how do you feel, or what are you hearing from your camp?
Yeah, they like the songs, and yeah, they expressed a lot of interest in my song
Most
in the songs as well.
more importantly, it sounds like you are very proud of the work too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would agree with Kuya Ken. Uh, I like the songs, or I like this album better than Dream of Better Days, and I
Yeah.
think we learned a lot in the process of making our first album, that we were able to kind of apply those in the new one.
I can't wait to hear more about the behind the scenes production work that went into this album. Um, so, for those of you that have never experienced an album listening party, I'm going to go over the details right now so you're not lost in the process. At home right now, everyone, get The Sun is in Our Eyes album via Bandcamp, Spotify, however you have it. Oh, Heather's here. Hey, Heather. Thank you for joining us. Heather is a diehard DKFMer. And as long as we're doing no trivia today, she will stay on here. Right, Heather? uh, and you're going to queue up the album. And when I say hit it, you're going to hit play on your device. You will not be able to hear the album playing via this stream. So only on your device at home when you hit play. That causes a little confusion for people, but that's what we're going to do. Once the album is playing, I will keep everybody on track by posting the song title in the comments box. And then we'll just roll through these songs. Ken and Judy, while these songs are playing, if you want to share anything in the comments box about the making of the song or any narrative, anything, go ahead. After the album is over, we'll do a short Q&A, talk more extensively about the album. And then everyone will be good to go. And maybe Ken and Judy will have some albums that they want to share with you, stuff that they enjoy listening to. Okay, so The Sun is in Our Eyes. Get that album queued up, everyone. And when I say hit it, you're going to hit it. And the first song is Passing Days and Highways. And it's actually a very interesting intro. Judy and Ken, while the album is playing, you can keep your screen on. You can turn it off at any time. And you can post along. You're going to see me comment along. And should be fun. Are you two ready? Audience at home ready? Okay, here we go. Hit it. You're tuning into High Arts on the Edge. We're here with UJU, Ken and Judy, listening to a brand new album, track number 3, Promises. Absolutely gorgeous. all I can say. Album listening party with UJU. Keep enjoying. This is so good. Time to get vulnerable. UJU, vulnerable listening party. This is fantastic. Goosebumps. We're going to close it out. I can't believe this is coming to a curtain close. No. I'll be all right. I'm still here, everyone. Crank it. Wow. Whoa. Are you done on your end? Because
Yes.
I'm gonna start that whole album over again. Damn. And I have a really I really like my audio system. And I got a new subwoofer a little bit a while ago, and man, that I think Heather nailed it. Chills, more chills. So, The Sun is in Our Eyes, second album from UJU. This is William, High Hearts on the Edge. We were speaking with Ken and Judy. After hearing this album for the upteenth time, how are you feeling about it? Give us some insight. Talk about some of these songs that you would like to go deeper dive into description. Judy?
um, I still love it.
Yeah.
I love the album, and uh, I think every time I listen to "We Should Have Walked But We Ran," like the feeling is still the same. I fall in love with the song. I think that's my favorite song on the album for sure. Yeah.
It's interesting that you take on that perspective simply because artists can be very humble, and you are humble. Artists have a hard time acknowledging the great work they do. They tend to poke holes. You don't seem to be in that kind of mindset. Now, I'm sure maybe listening to some things you go, oh, I could do that differently or better. But I always get the sense with you too that you're very proud of the work that you serve and share. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, definitely. This album was really special to both of us, and thematically, it is like a sequel to Dream of Better Days, and it is about the current, the now, and it really reflects how we're feeling in our lives right now, and it's a good memory to keep, and that's why we're really proud of the album because we're really put our heart into it and really worked hard on it. So yeah, until now we still like listening to our songs, which I don't know, just me. I got tired of Dream of Better Days for a bit, um, but this one I still keep coming back to some songs and and the memories that I associate with the different songs that we put out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Judy.
agree. Just like maybe to add, um, I do see some like holes and like I should have done that better, or maybe I could have sung this part in a different way. But uh, I think with recording the first album and then this one, I realized that those mistakes that I see, or uh, those things where the moments when I thought I could have done this better, um, I think that's just like all part of the process of like my growth or our growth in making music. So we notice these small things, but that also kind of gives us an opportunity to improve in the next one. And so it's just that continuous process of growth. So like I just see it as part of a process. So I try not to dwell too much on it, I guess.
It's a gift, right? That's what's being unveiled to you because then you can reflect upon that work and say, okay, I would like to improve. So
Right,
it's kind
right.
of opening a door for you.
Yes, yes.
And some people are very critical of their own work. So it's hard for them to see those flaws and mistakes or acknowledge them.
Right.
And I love that you two seem vulnerable enough that you can dive into that kind of mindset and allow to feel and hear those mistakes and go, okay, maybe for the next time. So Ken, you mentioned some themes here. What what are some themes? What were some themes that you were going for? You and Judy.
It's more like uh I guess since Dream of Better Days was about reminiscing and walking down memory lane, this one's about um knowing you still have those memories to look back to, but how to go on from there. So it's like you're kind of alone now, but you still have those memories to keep you company, sort of something like that.
Judy?
Yeah, I would agree. And I think not just the lyrics, but even the sound. We were kind of more experimental with
Yeah.
uh, a sound from like really dream pop songs in the first album. We have like more shoegaze songs in the new one, right? And so, yeah, I think the themes, uh, yeah, a lot of the songs, as we Ken said, are like kind of uh, you know how to move on from that point where you're uh, you know dwelling in kind of like the past. So you're basically like reminiscing, and I think both Kuya Ken and I, as we wrote the songs, we were able to express like what we were feeling in those moments. So yeah.
Heather says, if you can fall in love with the music that you make, the feeling really comes through. Heather being an artist, so understanding what you two are talking about and echoing those sentiments, if you will. She also says, I think every artist feels like they could have or should have done something different or better. I feel that way as teaching, looking back at, a day's lesson. Ooh, I could have handled that differently with the student. Oh, I should have added this to the lesson or taken this away. And that's all part, like you said, Judy, part of the process. So the opening song, or if you will, 1 minute intro, Passing Days and Highways, was that kind of a table setter? Did you just go, yes, that's going to be our first track to lay down the foundation?
We've had that and someday finished uh months where like 8 months or 7 months before the album. But it was just the for the first song, it was just the instrumental. And I always felt like it lacked something to set the mood until want to shout out to our friend Danny Gaston. She had the perfect voice to like set the like emulating like a phone call and stuff and to really set the mood of the album.
I wanted to, Judy, were you going to say anything to that? Okay. I want to talk about several
I think, yeah,
tracks.
he said it wrong.
Okay. So I want to talk about several tracks um, that I love asking this question with artists. Tell me some of the names of songs that you really struggled with, and why did you struggle with them? And how did you overcome that struggle? Was it the lyrics? Was it the melodies? What was it, the bridge? What are some songs that proved to be difficult for you?
Time song. It took like 10 months to finish. I mean, the song was already written even like I think a few months after Dream of Better Days, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But like to finish the song, I mean, like it was finished like lyrics and like on acoustic guitar, it was finished in that sense. But like to be on the album, it took on so many forms, and then yeah, it
Mm.
took like 9 months. It took the
Oh,
longest.
wow.
Yeah.
So how did you decide, okay, we finally got it? Like, what was that moment?
Because with every version, I was like, "How's this?" And Judy would be like, it's okay," and I would be like, "Yeah, it's kind of not that good." Then it just kept until one time I tried. How about this? I had to be more creative with how I used the guitar. So for a little bit technical thing, I had to like I tried recording the guitar in a different. way compared to the other songs. So I landed on that sound, and I'm like, this sounds pretty good. What do you think? And then Judy agreed. Man, yeah, but it was like a 9 months of struggle. It took on so many different forms. It even had like a. It was more upbeat at one point. It was like
Oh,
140 BPM. We tried
okay.
that. It didn't work out. We tried just a guitar, but it kind of lacked something. We tried more synths and stuff, more dream pop. It still didn't work until we landed on the final version we have.
And that's because you altered the sound of your guitar work?
Yeah, so usually I just have the guitar with the full volume, full tone, and the regular pickups. What I did with the guitar is um I I turned the tone off and then filtered a lot of the high end. So it's kind of like a plucking sound on the electric guitar with reverb. And yeah, and then it started with that and then started layering some elements, and then found like a riff that fit well with Judy's vocals. And then I sent her the demo, and yeah, she liked it. So I was happy with that because it took so long. I was getting so frustrated.
Yeah. I love that. I love, and that's exactly what I want to hear. And Judy, so does Ken send you the songs often and say, okay, what do you think? And do you get the final say? Do you get that moment of green light?
Well, Kuya Ken produces all our songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does send me like a lot of demos. I don't think I have the final say. I think it's like a mutual decision.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I like this version. Um, and we kind of just give feedback back and forth. Like, how about, yeah, yeah, I think I would say it like that.
When you two are collaborating and working together, Ken, you're doing a lot of the music, correct? Judy, you're focusing on vocals and lyrics, correct? So when Ken sends a piece, because he said something right there that really fascinated me. There's a piece in mind with you in it, right? And he's going, okay, how might Judy sing this? Do you do a lot of discussion beforehand, or Ken, do you just say, okay, here you go, Judy, find your voice here?
I think initially the Dream of Better Days, it was like that because I would write in my vocal range because I didn't know how to write for Judy's at that time, and at that time I also didn't know how to work a DAW. I didn't know how to produce music. I was all like, yeah, just learning stuff along the way. But now I know where Judy's range is, so I always, when I try to make a song, I always keep in mind um Judy's vocal style and her range, and yeah, and just I try to make it accommodating to her because I think that's where it shines because I really can't sing that well, and I like Judy also makes most of the melodies,
Okay,
so I try to come up with a simple riff at first and then add on to that to complement the melody that she added.
got it. Judy,
Yeah,
do you want
I
to
think
elaborate?
uh, probably an example would be Promises.
Okay.
Uh, he sent like a demo. It was just like instrumentals, right? And the lyrics to the song. And then he asked like, "What do you think a fitting melody would be?" And so, uh, yeah, he kind of like what he said. He makes those songs in line with what he thinks would work with me, and I would also contribute more on the melody part.
And you being the lead vocalist, that big responsibility, how hard is it for you to write lyrics?
Well, lyric writing has, I mean, it's always been like something I wanted to do. I think there's a big honor in writing and putting out the songs that you write. Uh, and so I've always wanted to do that. Uh, And I mean, I still struggle with it until now. And yeah, but I think this album kind of gave me an opportunity to uh, write more, but also not be ashamed of like putting that out into the world. Because, you know, when you're writing songs about what you feel, you're being vulnerable
Yeah.
and you're, you know, expressing your innermost emotions in that. And so for that to be out in the world, it's like it was kind of scary for me. But yeah, this album gave me an opportunity to write more, and uh, I think I'm much more encouraged now to just write what I feel. I just keep writing. Yeah.
So again, tell us some elements. Tell us some things that you were writing from. What perspective? Were you writing from pain? Were you writing from memories? Were you writing from whatever you want to share?
Yeah, so I guess for the Time song, I wrote that with my friends and my high school batch in mind, because that was like during the pandemic. So we didn't really actually get to say goodbye to people, and so I kind of had um, that there was something left in me that was like, oh, I want to say goodbye, or I want closure. I guess that would be the
Okay.
word. And so I wrote that song with them in mind, and I guess it was reminiscing all the things that we had, and also looking towards the future, because I knew that I would be coming back to Korea. And so it was kind of a mix of those two, like reminiscing and thinking of what would happen to, you know, our friendship and stuff like that in the future, because you never really know.
No, you don't know. So with your interest in psychology, you knew this question was coming.
Yes.
So what struggles did you have personally? You don't have to go in your personal life, but psychologically, what struggles were you having in helping creating and shaping this album?
Oh, um, psycho- psychological struggles. Well, I didn't have that many. It's, I guess, the more on like the worries of like whether the album would uh, turn out in a way that, you know, resonates with people, because I think that's quite important as someone making music. Like, it's important that you like it, and it's important that your um, your heart is poured into it, right? But it's also important for you to consider the listeners and whether that would resonate with them. I think that's also a factor to consider. So I guess it was like the worry of that. Like, would people be able to understand the emotions in the songs? And yeah,
So are you familiar
psychologically,
with go ahead.
said so I could understand people better.
Are you familiar with the band REM and their song Night Swimming?
No, I've heard of REM, but I haven't listened to their songs.
Okay. Well, they're a legendary alternative
I
rock
will be
band. So if you listen to that
I will be
track, Night
putting that in my
Swimming,
list. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Night Swimming, he is so vulnerable on his vocals.
Mm,
So my question to you, you express the vulnerability and you enjoy that. Why do you enjoy that?
um, well, I think for me personally, when I listen to music, uh, the emotions, when the vulnerability and the emotions of uh, the artist is felt, it becomes much more meaningful, because it's like that person is sharing a part of themselves through music, which is beautiful, right? And so that's always been something I wanted to uh, kind of express as well, because I feel like there's a beauty in sharing a part of you through something as beautiful as music. So that's why I think I enjoy, yeah, doing that. I focus a lot on uh, the emotions or a particular feeling that I want people to feel with like the way that I sing. And so I'm always like, yeah, Ken, no, let's do another take. I don't like that one.
One of the things I've been working on with my students is getting them to feel safe in being vulnerable. So we've done a lot of discussion this year on what that looks like. In terms of you being vulnerable with your music, do you feel that has helped you being vulnerable in your relationships, your friendships with family members, relatives? Do you see what I'm asking you?
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like I'm the type of person who would rather like deny what I feel rather than express. And so that was also something I wanted to work on, because I didn't think it was really healthy for me. And so I think writing these songs, especially like Vulnerable, I listen to it and I can still remember like the emotions I felt. And so writing those songs, and instead of like trying to look away from it, uh, like addressing it for what it is and just saying, I feel this way. I think that has helped me a lot in my personal life as well.
Wonderful. Ken, with your musicianship, how have you grown as an artist, as a musician in the last 2 to 3 years?
Oh, I've grown a lot. I consider a lot more things now to make like to serve the song, because before I just played bass. I just focus on my area. Like I just play the song how it's meant to be played, and then it really didn't really mind the other elements until I started with Uju. And yeah, so I'm more mindful of things. And before I would like oh, I wanna do like a cool bass line here, cool, just for the sake of, because it's fun, right? But I didn't ask if it served the song. And I think that's helped me now be more restrained in that area. And yeah, like I see it now as a whole, and how each element can work with each one. And yeah, and it's definitely helped a lot, and especially guitar, because I don't really play guitar. But yeah, writing guitar parts have been really fun. Uh,
I'm sensing a parallel here. I'm sensing the vulnerability that Judy was searching for and going after and feeling okay with that. And I'm sensing on this album, same thing with you, the vulnerability of your musicianship. As you just said, I don't really play guitar. Would you say that's fair?
yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah. There's a deeper resonance to this album. It seems more um, confident in its sound, bigger, louder. How conscious were you two of that? Did you say, okay, we're going to start really pressing on these pedals. We're going to really start going for it. Or did that just kind of start evolving over time?
it it started evolving, yeah, because while writing the album, the first few songs we've had written with Time Song, Promises, and Someday, which is kind of still similar to Dream of Better Days in terms of sound, like very dream poppy, very like road trip vibes type of
Mhm.
thing. But when we started writing about like being vulnerable, just like We should have walked, but we ran. Sun is in our eyes. I think it needed more intensity to like show how we were feeling. So that's how it evolved into let's lean. It's not like let's lean into more shoegaze, but like let's see if it was more like try to convey that feeling of intensity through music. So it eventually just led to that. So more distorted guitars, more yeah,
Yeah,
intense drums.
even the instrumental track, the one with the really long title,
Yeah.
that was actually, written by Kuya Ken, and I remember he said like there's something that there's parang like an emotion, I guess, that I want to convey to the audience. Like, yeah, I guess you could share that, Kuya, but that
Yeah,
was really nice.
for the song was it the sound of a car? What's that song? The really long title. Um I wanted to try and convey the feeling of what it feels like to suddenly have like memories rush in after like when you're just doing something mundane and then you remember something that broke your heart or remember something yeah the time of your life and all of those like emotions rushing in. That's what I tried to convey with that song. So it starts like with just keys, right? So which is like representing of just doing your day-to-day mundane things. Then suddenly all the guitars, distorted guitars come in almost without warning. Because sometimes, memories just come and hit us. And yeah, that's how the song was pretty much um made. It was also to set the mood for the last two songs, which are over 6 minutes each.
Mhm. Judy, does your gender play a role in how you perform and sing? Meaning, being a female, if you identify as that, does that play in your mind? Or you don't look at gender and just be like, I am just a singer and I'm a lyricist and da da da.
Yeah, I don't really think that plays a big role. I'm just, you know, singing and doing what I want, doing something that I feel passionate about, and yeah, that thought I don't think it occurred to me.
So, where did your love for singing music start?
Well, for music, I actually started playing the violin
Mm.
at when I was 6 years old. So I started pretty early on in music, and my parents actually they're not like really into music, but they also kind of have a gift, I guess, in that area. And so I think I was blessed with some sort of thing like that. So I started playing the violin, and then like a little bit of keys and classical music, right? So that's when it started. And for singing, I never actually thought that I could sing because I was like playing violin and all these instruments. And so I think it was just one time in high school where I was like, what if I try singing? And so there was this Filipina artist that I found, and I really loved her music. I loved how she sang, how she played her guitar and things like that. So I think that's what kind of inspired me to try it out. And yeah, I've been blessed to be in a band.
Do
Yeah.
you do any vocal training? Did you do any? Um,
I tried to. I think I had like 2 sessions or so, and then I stopped going.
yeah.
But I think most of my vocals, um, like if I listen to Dream of Better Days, I can hear like 16-year-old Judy, like really young sounding, vocals. And that was a time actually where I wasn't so confident with how I sang yet. And
Yeah.
so I would want to sing something really well, but when that sound just won't come out of your mouth, like you can't sing it the way you want to. And so during the pandemic, I I would just practice singing, do like vocal exercises, or practice singing a song I want to master. And so I think that really contributed to uh, the voice I have now, which I'm not like 100% happy about, but like I know and I noticed that there has been growth in that as well. So
Where or how?
I guess like more on the vocal control. And
Okay.
so if you're able to control your voice, then you can also put a little more focus on the emotion. So that's what I kind of wanted to accomplish as well. So yeah, vocal control and the emotion when you sing. Yeah.
Great little tidbit there. Who are some vocalists that you admire?
Well, I listen to a lot of Korean music. So yeah, there's this uh, K-pop artist named IU, and she's been singing for like years, 15 years probably, and so I've been able to like dissect how she sings, like from her songs in the past to how she sings now, and so I guess those things kind of inspired me. Yeah, IU and Koreans are actually like really good at the vocal techniques, I would say. So I listen to a lot of their songs and try to notice how they sing certain parts. So yeah, I think those are yeah.
Ken, tell us some musicians that inspire you.
Um, the two that come to mind is Daywave and Phaser Days.
Nice.
Actually, I wanted to start UJU because of Phaser Days.
Oh, okay.
I actually, yeah, in 2017 she released the album Morningside, and uh yeah, it's very dream poppy, and I heard the album. I'm like, I want to make a band that sounds kind of like that. And then a year later, yeah, we formed UJU. So yeah, like I don't listen to Future Days that much now, but I can remember that looking up. I mean, I don't think I would have. It kind of sparked that interest in forming like a dream pop type of band because of Phaser Days. And for Daywave, it's uh I've always listened to his music, and I really like how he uh mixes vocals and all the delay. Actually, a lot of the effects on I put on Judy's vocals are Daywave inspired.
Nice.
And um after after we released um the first album, he started doing streams of uh just production, and then I remember thinking to myself, this would have helped before the album. So I learned a lot from that, a lot of techniques he said, since he since he also makes dream pop type of music. um so the techniques that he uses would also apply to us. So I think that's where a lot of um learning happened for this Sun Is an Eyes album.
Yeah. He did some really good work with Hazel English.
Yeah, Hazel English.
Yeah. Uh, the album cover. Ken, did you take that photo?
No, Judy did.
Judy, you took the photo. So you took the
Yes.
photo just haphazardly, and then you realized one day, oh, we're going to use this, and I'm going to,
Yeah, it's crazy because I just posted that on my Instagram. It's just like my sunburnt hand because I went like diving and my hand was sunburned. So I just took a picture of it, and Kuya Ken was like, "Oh, I tried to use like a picture that you had," and he made the album cover.
But
It's
before that,
crazy.
I was trying to think of an album cover. I was trying lots of different things until um I tried to see if Judy had any photos of anything I could turn into album art, and I saw that, and it's like covering the sun. So it's like the sun is in her eyes, right? Covering the sun, so you can see. So I landed on that, and then that became the album art.
Yeah.
And then the album title, who was responsible for that one?
Still
Uh,
can. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually from it's actually a line that my friend said. Uh, it goes
Can we
like,
stay like this forever?
yeah, and it was actually in "Can We Stay Like This Forever" in the first album.
Mhm.
So it was, she said, "The sun is in her eyes." Uh, forgot. But anyway, it's there. It's from "Can We Stay Like This
Yeah.
Forever." It's this track
9.
nine, right?
I,
Nine, track
I
nine
think 9.
of "Dream of Better Days." So yeah, it talks about a sun is in her eyes, like um, you don't know what's ahead because like everything's shining so bright, which is like the good times or something like that, whatever you associate that with. But then suddenly it's gone. So that's where it came from. The sun is in her eyes.
I'm a little bummed. I don't know if we'll ever get you now that you live in two very distant wise places touring. Is that going to be possible?
We'll see someday.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I'll still be visiting the Philippines like from time to time.
Okay.
So hopefully we could have like gigs and
Yeah, we'll
performances.
probably try to have at least if it's not a Philippine tour, but like our area, like Dumaguete Cebu tour.
Yeah.
Because our label's also been asking for it.
Yeah. Do
Nice.
you want to tell everyone what records you're on?
Oh, we're on Melt Records from based in Cebu City in the Philippines.
Yeah. And who started that? Do you know?
Uh, I know it's Sir Dexter
Okay.
and I think Sir PJ, which is the who is the creative director. I think yeah, they started Melt Records to help distribution for indie artists.
Yeah. Um, it's two of you now. Seems to be a lot more freedom, but more
Um,
responsibility.
I guess in some way, but yeah, I don't know how I would put that.
Ken?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think
Okay.
because also the first album we also both wrote it most of it. Yeah.
What's next for you two? I'm obviously you mentioned, you're going to try to get back to the Philippines, Judy, once in a while. Can you be creating music miles and miles apart?
I'm actually already working on one of the songs she sent.
Oh.
Well, that didn't take long.
Yeah, I'm also planning on investing in like a microphone and uh yeah, just so I think that would be a kind of outlet for me as well. So I think it would be nice that we continue making music together. Yeah, we also agreed on that. So
We'll
Yeah.
definitely be making more music, but we're actually going to announce a hiatus. So we'll be on hiatus for a bit. But of course we'll still be writing. But I'll try to work on like merch, maybe music videos with for our tracks from Dream of Better Days and Sun is in Our Eyes. While
Okay.
while there's downtime.
Yeah. Your hiatus, how long are we talking about here for?
Not sure.
The do you guys listen to a lot of vinyl, or is it more, CDs and digital? What's your preferred method of listening to music?
I listen to digital because I just take it everywhere.
yeah, more digital for me. But I do want to invest on vinyl. Yeah.
Have you guys been to the United States?
I have.
Yeah, I've been there. I was really young though.
Were you in LA? I feel like we've had this. No.
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
think.
I was also in LA.
Yeah,
Okay,
me too.
but never up in San Francisco. Is that correct?
I went to San Francisco as well for a
Yeah,
few
Golden
for a
Gate.
couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ah, the Golden Gate.
yeah. Classic tourist
Um,
spot.
but it's good. It's just when you walk across, it's extremely loud. So don't even try to
Oh.
have a conversation. It's just cars. What are you guys listening to these days? You want to share with the audience what you're enjoying?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
There's this band from Singapore I've been obsessed with recently. It's called Motifs. They're
Okay.
also like dream pop shoegaze, and
Mm.
their story was they don't have they didn't know each other. None of them knew each other, but they had like an app in Singapore which is like Tinder but for musicians, and they all like matched, and then they formed the band, and yeah, I totally love their sound. I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah, please put that in there. And if they have an album or two you recommend, go for it.
Yeah, I'll show their album.
Okay. Judy, while he's doing that, is there a band that you're digging right now, or some maybe a band that
Um,
inspired you?
um, well, I've been listening to Taylor Swift lately.
Oh,
Um,
how's
yeah.
Swifty doing these days? What do you think of her new album?
Not her new album. I actually didn't really dive into that. The sound isn't really my something I lean towards, but more on folklore. And there's a
Yeah.
Korean artist. He is actually a really well-known guitarist in South Korea, and he started um, his like official career as a singer-songwriter. And I recently watched his concert lately. Yeah, I think that was last Friday when our album was released. I watched his concert, and he was just amazing live. And the sound was actually something I really liked. He writes really good lyrics as well. His name's
Do you
Jokjae.
want to do you want to
JUKJAE. Yeah.
do you want to type that up and put it in the comments box?
All right.
Awesome.
I'm
So I
gonna
don't know.
link.
Ken is she Ken is she breaking up or is it me?
I think a bit. Yeah, she's breaking up a bit. Okay, I think
Okay.
it's fine now.
Okay.
Oh
Um
no. Okay, okay.
yeah, I can hear you. Uh so you weren't responsible for all the ticket problems with Taylor Swift concert, were you? Did you
Yeah, I heard about that.
did you hear about that? That was
Yeah,
that
it's
was insane.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. But yeah, I think that folklore is quite amazing. Anytime you can get someone from the National to help you out, I think you'll be in good shape. It's a great band. Ken, who else do you enjoy listening to?
Wolf Alice,
Yeah,
and Churches. I think those two are one of my favorite bands of all time.
nice.
Especially Churches, they're very like they're synth pop, but their latest album is very gazy.
Yeah,
They're not really shoegaze, but it's in that territory. Especially they
yeah,
have a song with Robert Smith from The Cure.
yeah.
So yeah, love those two bands.
The sun is in our eyes. How can people get a hold of this album? Head over to Bandcamp.
Yeah, Bandcamp on Melt Records Bandcamp should be there.
Okay. If anyone has a question for Ken and Judy, feel free to put it in the chat box. Other than that, we're going to wrap this up. This has been an absolute pleasure. You two have been very gracious with your time, so thank you for that. I have to thank DKFM because I believe there's a DJ by the name of, yes, she played it, Amber. Crane, and I caught one of her shows, and it was from Dream of Better Days, and I think I can't remember what song she played, but anyways, it just caught my ear immediately. I'm like, "Ooh, what is that? Oh, I'm getting that right now." And so that's kind of how I fell in love with your music and stories that I have shared. So thank you for contributing to the betterment of shoegaze and dream pop music. It's and I think Heather really nailed it. Like and I just want to get the word out and keep spreading that great sound that you have created. Um, so do you two have any closing comments? I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Do you have any,
Um,
Judy?
well, I mean, first of all, thank you for having us. I still
Yeah.
remember like being quite amazed with when Kuya Ken shared about you and how you loved our song. And yeah, we were really thankful about that, and we still are. So thank you, and thank you for having us. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I hope that people, yeah, I think our desire is really just that people resonate with the songs that we make. We don't need like fame or popularity or anything like that. We just want people to resonate with the songs that we create. And so yeah, we hope that you continue to show our album lots of love. And um, yeah, thank you again. Really means a
You're
lot
welcome.
to be here.
You're welcome, Judy. Ken, any parting words from you?
Yeah, thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the album, and yeah, announcing the hiatus shortly, but doesn't mean that there won't be any more Uju. I'll still be trying to work on other things aside from music. I mean, we'll still be working music. We just won't put it out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned for that.
Do you want to tell people what the name of your band means? Sorry, I completely forgot about that.
Sure. Uju means universe in Korean or galaxy or whatever.
Love it.
Yeah, I think it
Definitely.
describes our sound. So
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Oh, by the way, Ken and Judy, this conversation will stay up on the High Arts on the Edge page. So if you never ever need to share it or go back to it, feel free. It will always be there.
all right.
Thanks again. This has been another special event, High Arts on the Edge. My name is W.A.K. William, Ken and Judy from UJU, which means galaxy, universe. It's a hell of an album. The sun is in our eyes. Take care, everyone. Keep listening to great dream pop shoegaze music. It's always a good thing. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.